Hello, people. How are you? Tell me if you can hear me. If I sound okay, we'll get started. I would just like verification from anyone that might be watching. Right at this point, we have 0 viewers, which is all fine. While I've been reading and praying the last couple of days, we've had at most 4 people watching at a time. And that's quite all right, because as time goes on, I'm sure it might get bigger and it might stay the same. But only time will tell. And as God willing, we can grow a community here that will love coming together to pray, promote praying, building a relationship with God, and also digging into the scripture. So, yeah, that's the whole point of my channel. I kind of got into this with videos that I deleted a couple weeks ago. So I was walking around and talking about how I was going to be doing videos soon. And lo and behold, this was my whole plan. And of course, it hasn't gone exactly the way I would prefer it to. You know, you make gaffes, you speak like I'm doing now, where I pause and I don't know what to say. Hopefully I get better. I probably won't. that's the big deal. But I think it's important to promote reading the Bible. I think a lot of people don't do it as much. And what's better to do now than just read a whole book? You know, people are always trying to dig down and just take one scripture to promote their whole idea of what Christianity is. And they've never read even the entire Bible or the entire book that they're quoting from, or even some of the more obscure books that people aren't usually reading. You know, you hear people complain about Leviticus, and I've read it a couple times now in the last couple of years. And while it is rough, I have a newfound appreciation for it. So, as you can see here in the title, we are going to be reading the book of Proverbs. And I'm going to be using the source of the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. I figured, why not? It's a good enough source as any. And here we go. So let me bring it up. Pow. There we go. Here's the whole book of the page of books, all the way from Genesis down to Revelations. And yeah, so yesterday I read Mark, and I was going to read Genesis. I really like Genesis a lot, but I figured today I'm kind of tired. Today's a holy day of obligation where you're supposed to go to church for the Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Now, since I'm not actually Catholic, I'm registered for RCIA class. It starts in September. I obviously can't partake in any of the sacraments or anything along those lines, but I actually do love going to church and worshiping God, even if I can't partake in any of the sacraments. So, yeah, I'm actually excited for tonight. I actually missed Mass the last couple weeks because I went onto a trip and couldn't make it to service. But I'm back and energized and excited. And I'm here with you guys to read the Bible today. So if you have a book that you would want me to read sooner rather than later, let me know in the comment section, and I will get to planning that out. So I will probably move into maybe Luke soon, and then maybe Acts. I don't know. We shall see. If you are hearing this, let me know what you think in the comment section. I might go with Genesis and then Exodus, and then read some more of the wisdom books and go from there. But in my mind, I always like to start with Mark. And the reason for this is it's shorter and it's not bogged down with things that Matthew or John has, because you've got to have some background information to really take hold of those books. And so Mark, it's more subtle, but you don't need it per se. And so you can read Mark and go, oh, okay, here's the actions, here's the things that happened. Then you can go back and read Genesis and go from there. Of course, you can read the wisdom books at any point in time. So you can mix it up. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. In my opinion, Leviticus and Numbers, you're going to want to break those up a little bit. So you can read through Leviticus, you can read through Numbers. There's great stuff in there. And in between those books, read Job, read the Psalms, read the Songs of Songs, read Wisdom. It's all good. Then you can Joshua, Judges, Ruth. Ruth's very short. Samuel, Kings, Chronicles. And we're also doing this. So me and my son have read Genesis through Kings 2, 2 Kings. And we're going to start Maccabees today. We'll probably read Maccabees 1 and 2, and then go and read Chronicles 1 and 2 again, with the understanding that, Chronicles is Kings essentially in a different perspective, and it'll be what it is. So at that point, we've also read, let me go over here. What was I thinking? I just lost it. I'm a little tired today. While I was gone, we read Isaiah. I read it by myself. He read it by himself. And, it was good. Just to keep the ball moving while we're not reading together, we're reading it alone. Like I try to tell them, you always try to teach teenagers, make a routine, stick to the routine. If you're going to lift weights or something or exercise, stick to the routine. Even if you don't want to go and go through the motions, because you're at least getting there. And the thing that you feel when you actually go and do it, even when you don't want to, is you actually put in the effort because you don't want to waste your time. That's going to be the same with reading the Bible, doing your homework, anything like that. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited to go to Mass today. I really enjoy going to church, even though it happens to be the Novus Ordo. What I find is funny, the trad versus the quote-unquote regular Catholics, or whatever, bad Catholics, or whatever you want to say. I didn't realize that was like a big thing until, you started learning about it on social media, basically. And so I really enjoy the liturgy and going to the Novus Ordo Mass, while I also do find what the trads love the Latin liturgy, and they hold it very sacred to themselves as well. So I would like to actually go to that someday and see what it's all about. But at least at this point in time in my mind, I just enjoy going to mass, and you're actually seeing God there. So that's what I care about, and I enjoy it, and that's all I got to say right now. So I'm registered for RCIA, haven't started going yet. That happens in September. So how much do I really know? I've read a few books, but reading the Bible, it is what it is. So, of course, I haven't even been baptized yet, so it is what it is. Let's do this. We're about 10 minutes into the video, and I have not even started reading yet. We don't have anybody watching, so that's fine. If you are watching, though, leave a comment and say hello. I would like to see those. So we are going to read Proverbs, and it takes a little bit longer than what Mark did. And they said 1.5 hours on the website that I looked at. For Mark, it took me 2 hours. I think this one, Proverbs, takes 1 hour and 45 minutes is what they wrote. So I suspect it's going to take about 2 hours again. First off, I forgot how long some of the chapters are in Mark. And when it's super long like that, it gets grueling to read, because for whatever reason, I make this thing in my mind where I grab a drink in between chapters. And, that slows down your pace of reading. So here, I believe Proverbs, I read them real recently. They're not all that long. They're what I think of as your typical Bible chapter, which is about 20 to 30 verses. So let's get started, and I will write that in the time right here. 12 minutes. Okay, so we are going to click on Proverbs. This is basically an anthology of collections of sayings and instructions. And it's thought to be the wisdom of Solomon. If you have read the history books in the Bible, Samuel, Kings, Chronicles, you know that Solomon asked for wisdom. And so these are attributed to him. You can read this if you want more background information, but we're just going to leave it at that and move along. Because we're 13 minutes in and I haven't even started. Proverbs chapter 1. Purpose of the Proverbs of Solomon. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. The people may know wisdom and discipline, may understand intelligent sayings, may receive instruction in wise conduct, in what is right, just, and fair. That resourcefulness may be imparted to the naive, knowledge and discretion to the young. The wise, by hearing them, will advance in learning. The intelligent will gain sound guidance. To comprehend proverb and byword, the words of the wise and their riddles. Fear the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and discipline. Hear, my son, your father's instructions, and reject not your mother's teaching. A graceful diadem will they be for your head, a pendant for your neck. My son, should sinners entice you, do not go if they say, come along with us. Let us lie and wait for blood, unprovoked. Let us trap the innocent. Let us swallow them alive like whole, like those who go down to the pit. All kinds of precious wealth shall we gain. We shall fill our houses with booty. Cast in your lot with us. We shall all have one purse. My son, do not walk in the way with them. Hold back your foot from their path. For their feet run to evil. They hasten to shed blood. In vain a net is spread, right under the eyes of any bird. They lie in wait for their own blood. They set a trap for their own lives. This is the way of everyone greedy for loot. It takes away their lives. Wisdom cries aloud in the street. In the open square, she raises her voice. Down the crowd ways, she calls out. At the city gates, she utters her words. How long, you naive ones, will you love native? How long will you turn away at my reproof? The arrogant delight in their arrogance. The fools hate knowledge. Lo, I pour out to you my spirit. I acquaint you with my words, because I called and you refused, extended my hand and no one took notice, because you disdained all my counsel and my reproof you ignored. I, in my turn, will laugh at your doom, will mock when terror overtakes you. When terror comes upon you like a storm, and your doom approaches like a whirlwind, when distress and anguish befall you, then they will call me, but I will not answer. They will seek me, but will not find me, because they hated knowledge, and the fear of the Lord they did not choose. They ignored my counsel, they spurned all my reproof. Well, then they shall eat the fruit of their own way, and with their own devices be glutted. For the straying of the naive kills them, the smugness of fools destroys them. But whoever obeys me dwells in security and peace without fear of harm. Proverbs chapter 2. The blessings of wisdom. My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands, turning your ear to wisdom, inclining your heart to understanding. Yes, if you call for intelligence and to understand, raise your voice. If you seek her like silver and like hidden treasures, search her out, then you will understand the fear of the Lord. The knowledge of God you will find, for the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He has success in store for the upright, is the shield of those who walk honestly, guarding the paths of justice, protecting the way of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just, what is fair, every good path. For wisdom will enter your heart, knowledge will be at home in your soul. Discretion will watch over you, understanding will guard you, saving you from the way of the wicked, from those whose speech is perverse, from those who have left the straight paths to walk in the ways of darkness, who delight in doing evil and celebrate perversity, those who are crooked, whose paths are devious, saving you from a stranger, from a foreign woman with whom smooth words, one who forsakes the companion of her youth and forgets the covenant of her God. For her path sinks down to death, and her footsteps lead to the shades. No one enter there, come back, or gain the paths of life. Thus you may walk in the way of the good, and keep to the paths of the just. For the upright will dwell in the land. People of integrity will remain in it, but the wicked will be cut off from the land. The faithless will be rooted out of it. Whew, it's intense. Proverbs chapter 3. Confidence in God leads to prosperity. My son, do not forget my teaching. Take to heart my commands, for my days and years of life and peace they will bring you. Do not let love and fidelity forsake you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Excuse me. Then you will win favor and esteem, Before God and human beings, trust in the Lord with all your heart. On your own intelligence, do not rely. In all your ways, be mindful of him, and he will make straight your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. This will mean health for your flesh and vigor for your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with fruit. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with first fruits of all your produce. Then will your barns be filled with plenty. With new wine, your vats will overflow. The discipline of the Lord, my son, do not spurn. Do not disdain his reproof. For whom the Lord loves, he reproves. As a father, the son he favors. The benefit of finding wisdom. Happy the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. Her profit is better than profit in silver, and better than gold is her revenue. She is more precious than corals, and no treasure of yours can compare with her. Long life is in her right hand. In her left are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who grasp her, and those who hold her fast are happy. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth, established the heavens by understanding. By his knowledge the depths are split, and the clouds drop down dew. Justice towards one neighbor brings blessing. My son, do not let these slip from your sight. Do not hold to deliberation and planning. So will they be life to your soul and an adornment for your neck. Then you may go your own way. Okay, let me calm down. Then you may go your way securely. Your foot will never stumble. When you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you rest, your sleep will be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden terror, of the ruin of the wicked when it comes. For the Lord will be your confidence and will keep your foot from the snare. Do not withhold any goods from the owner when it is in your power to act. Say not to your neighbor, go, come back tomorrow, and I will give it to you. When all the while you have it. Do not plot evil against your neighbors when they live at peace with you. Do not contend with someone without cause, with one who has done you no harm. Do not envy the violent, and choose none of their ways. To the Lord the devious are an abomination, but the upright are close to him. The curse of the Lord is on the house of the wicked, but the dwelling of the just he blesses. Those who scoff he scoffs at, but the lowly he favors. The wise will possess glory, but fools will bear shame. Proverbs chapter 4. The teacher as model disciple. Hear, O child, a father's instruction. Be attentive, that you may gain understanding. Yes, excellent advice I give you. My teaching do not forsake. When I was my father's child, tender, the darling of my mother, he taught me and said to me, let your heart hold fast my words. Keep my commandments and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Do not forget or turn aside from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will preserve you. Love her, and she will safeguard you. The beginning of wisdom is get wisdom. Whatever else you get understanding. Extol her, and she will exalt you. She will bring you honors if you embrace her. She will put on your head a graceful diadem. A glorious crown she will bestow on you. 2 ways. Hear, my son, and receive my words, and the years of your life shall be many. On the way of wisdom I direct you. I lead you on straight paths. When you walk, your step will not be impeded, and should you run, you will not stumble. Hold fast to instruction, never let it go. Keep it, for it is your life. The path of the wicked do not enter, nor walk in the way of the evil. Shun it, do not cross it. Turn aside from it, pass on. For they cannot rest unless they have done evil. If they do not trip anyone, they lose sleep. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is like shining light that grows in brilliance till perfect day. The way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know on what they stumble. With your whole being, heed my words and live. My son, to my words be attentive. To my sayings incline your ear. Let them not slip from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them. Bring health to one's whole being. With all diligence guard your heart, for in it are the sources of life. Dishonest mouth put away from you. Deceit lips put far from you. Let your eyes look straight ahead, and your gaze be focused forward. Survey the path for your feet, and all your ways will be sure. Turn neither to right nor to the left. Keep your foot far from evil. Proverbs chapter 5. Warning against adultery. My son, to my wisdom be attentive, to understanding incline your ear, that you may act discreetly, and your lips guard what you know. Indeed, the lips of the stranger dripped honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. But in the end she is as bitter as wormwood, as sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps reach Sheol. Her paths ramble, you know not where, lest you see before you the road to life. So now, children, listen to me. Do not stray from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others and your years to a merciless one, lest outsiders take their fill of your wealth and your hard-won earnings go to another's house, and you groan in the end when your flesh and your body are consumed. And you say, oh, why did I hate instruction, and my heart spurn reproof? Why did I not listen to the voice of my teachers, incline my ear to my instructors? I am all but ruined in the midst of the public assembly. Drink water from your own cistern, running water from your own well. Should your water sources be dispersed abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be yours alone, not shared with outsiders. Let your fountain be blessed and have joy of the wife of your youth, your lovely hind, your graceful doe, of whose love you will ever have your fill, and by her ardor always be intoxicated. Why then, my son, should you be intoxicated with a stranger and embrace another woman? Indeed, the ways of each person are plain to the Lord's sight. All their paths he surveys. By their own iniquities, the wicked will be caught. In the meshes of their own sin, they will be held fast. They will die from lack of discipline, lost because of their great folly. Proverbs chapter 6, miscellaneous proverbs against going surety for one's neighbor. My son, if you become surety to your neighbor, given your hand in pledge to another, you have been snared by the utterance of your lips, caught by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself, since you have fallen into your neighbor's power. Go, hurry, rouse your neighbor. Give no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hunter, or like a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, O sluggard, study her ways and learn wisdom. For though she has no chief, no commander or ruler, she procures her food in the summer, stores up her provisions in the harvest. How long, O sluggard, will you lie there? When will you rise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest. Then poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like a brigand. Scoundrels, villains, are they who deal in crooked talk, shifty of eye, feet ever moving, pointy with fingers. They have perversity in their hearts, always plotting evil, sowing discord. Therefore their doom comes suddenly. In an instant they are crushed beyond cure. There are 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots wicked schemes, feet that are quick to run to evil, the false witness who utters lies, and the one who sows discord among kindred. Observe, my son, your father's command, and do not reject your mother's teaching. Keep them fastened over your heart always. Tie them around your neck. When you lie down, they watch over you. When you wake, they will share your concerns. Wherever you turn, they will guide you. For the command is a lamp, and the teaching a light, and a way to life are the reproofs that discipline, keeping you from another's wife, from the smooth tongue of a foreign woman. Do not lust in your heart after her beauty. Do not let her captivate you with her glance, for the price of a harlot may be scarcely a loaf of bread, but a married woman is a trap for your precious life. Can a man take embers into his bosom and his garments not be burned? Or can a man walk on live coals and his feet not be scorched? So with him who sleeps with another's wife, none who touches her shall go unpunished. Thieves are not despised, if out of hunger they steal to satisfy their appetite. Yet if they must pay back sevenfold, yield up all the wealth of their house. But those who commit adultery have no sense. Those who do it destroy themselves. They will be beaten and disgraced, and their shame will not be wiped away. For passion enrages the husband. He will have no pity on the day of vengeance. He will not consider any restitution, nor be satisfied by your many bribes. Proverbs chapter 7. My son, keep my words and treasure my commands. Keep my commands and live, and my teaching as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, are you my sister? Or you are my sister. Call understanding friend, that they may keep you from a stranger, from a foreign woman with her smooth words. For at the window of my house, through my lattice, I look out, and I saw among the naive, I observe among the young men, a youth with no sense, crossing the street near the corner, then walking toward her house, in the twilight at dusk of day, in the very dark of night. Then the woman comes to meet him, dressed like a harlot with secret designs. She is raucous and unruly. Her feet cannot stay at home. Now she is in the streets, now in the open squares, lurking in ambush at every corner. Then she grabs him, kisses him, and with an impudent look says to him, I owed peace offerings, and today I have fulfilled my vows. So I came to meet you, to look for you, and I found you. Her coverlets I have spread my couch, with brocaded cloths of Egyptian linen. I have sprinkled my bed with myrrh, with aloes, and with cinnamon. Come, let us drink our fill of love. Until morning, let us feast on love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey. A bag of money he took with him. He will not return till the full moon. She wins him over by repeated urging. With her smooth lips, she leads him astray. He follows her impulsively, like an ox that goes to slaughter, like a stag that bounds towards the net, till an arrow pierces its liver, like a bird that rushes into a snare, unaware that his life is at stake. So now, children, listen to me. Be attentive to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn to her ways. Do not go astray in her paths. For many are those she has struck down dead, numerous those she has slain. Her house is a highway to Sheol, leading down into the chambers of death. Does not wisdom call? Proverbs chapter 8. Does not wisdom call and understanding raise her voice? On the top of the height along the road, at the crossroads she takes her stand, by the gates at the approaches of the city. In the entryway she cries aloud, to you, O people, I call. My appeal is to you, mortals. You naive ones, gain prudence. You fools, gain sense. Listen, for noble things I speak. My lips proclaim honest words. Indeed, my mouth utters truth, and my lips arbor wickedness. All the words of my mouth are sincere, none of them wily or crooked. All of them are straightforward to the intelligent and right to those who attain knowledge. Take my instruction instead of silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than corals, and no treasures can compare with her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence, and useful knowledge I have. The fear of the Lord is hatred of evil. Pride, arrogance, the evil way, and the perverse mouth I hate. Mine are counsel and advice. Mine is strength, I am understanding. By me kings reign, and rulers enact justice. By me princes govern, and nobles all the judges of the earth. Those who love me, I also love, and those who seek me find me. With me are riches and honor, wealth that endures and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, even pure gold, and my yield than choice silver. On the way of righteousness I walk, along the paths of justice, granting wealth to those who love me, and fulfilling their treasuries. The Lord begot me, the beginning of his works, the forerunner of his deeds of long ago. From of old I was formed, at the first before the earth. When there were no deeps, I was brought forth. When there was no fountains or springs of water, before the mountains were settled in the place, before the hills, I was brought forth. When the earth and the fields were not yet made, nor the first clods of the world. When he established the heavens, there was I. When he marked out the vault over the face of the deep, when he made firm the skies above, when he fixed fast the springs of the deep, when he set for the sea its limits, so that the waters should not transgress his command, when he fixed the foundations of earth. Then I was beside him as artisan. I was his delight day by day, playing before him all the while, playing over the whole of his earth, having my delight with human beings. Now, children, listen to me. Happy are they who keep my ways. Listen to instruction and grow wise. Do not reject it. Happy the one who listens to me, attending daily at my gates, keeping watch at my doorsteps. For whoever finds me finds life and wins favor from the Lord. But those who pass me by do violence to themselves. All who hate me love death. Woman wisdom issues her imitation. Wisdom has built her house. She has set up her 7 columns. She has prepared her meat, mixed her wine. Yes, she has spread her table. She has sent out her maidservants. She calls from the heights out over the city. Let whoever is naive turn in here. To any who lack sense, I say, come, eat of my food, and drink of the wine I have mixed. Forsake foolishness that you may live. Advanced in the way of understanding. Whoever corrects the arrogant earns insults, and whoever reproves the wicked incurs opprobrium. Do not reprove the arrogant, lest they hate you. Reprove the wise, and they will love you. Instruct the wise, and they will become still wiser. Teach the just, and they will advance in learning. The beginning of wisdom is fear of the Lord, and knowledge of the Holy One in understanding. For by me your days will be multiplied, and the years of your life increased. If you are wise, wisdom is to your advantage. If you are arrogant, you alone shall bear it. Woman folly is raucous, utterly foolish. She knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house, upon a seat on the city heights, calling to passerby as they go on their way straight ahead. Let those who are naive turn in here. To those who lack sense, I say, stolen water is sweet, and bread taken secretly is pleasing. Little do they know that the shades are there, and her guests are in the depths of Sheol. Proverbs chapter 10. So we're roughly a third of the way through it, and we're at 43 minutes. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son gives his father joy, but a foolish son is a grief to his mother. Ill-gotten treasures profit nothing, but justice saves from death. The Lord does not let the just go hungry, but the craving of the wicked he thwarts. The slack hand impoverishes, but the busy hand brings riches. A son who gathers in summer is a credit. A son who slumbers during harvest, a disgrace. Blessings are for the head of the just, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. The memory of the just serves as blessing, but the name of the wicked will rot. A wise heart accepts commands, but a babbling fool will be overthrown. Whoever walks honestly walks securely, but one whose ways are crooked will fare badly. One who winks at a fault causes trouble, but one who frankly reproves promotes peace. The mouth of the just is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Hatred stirs up disputes, but love covers all offenses. On the lips of the intelligent is found wisdom, but the rod for the back of one without sense. The wise store up knowledge, but the mouth of a fool is imminent ruin. The wealth of the rich is their strong city. The ruin of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the just leads to life, the gains of the wicked to futility. Whoever follows instructions is in the path of life, but whoever disregards reproof goes astray. Whoever conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. Where words are many, sin is not wanting, but those who restrain their lips do well. Choice silver is the tongue of the just. The heart of the wicked is of little worth. The lips of the just nourish many, but fools die for want of sense. It is the Lord's blessing that brings wealth, and no effort can substitute for it. Crime is the entertainment of the fool, but wisdom is for the better of understanding. What the wicked fear will befall them, but the desire of the just will be granted. When the tempest passes, the wicked are no more, but the just are established forever. As vinegar to the teeth, and smoke to the eyes, and sluggards to those who send them. Fear of the Lord prolongs life, but the years of the wicked are cut short. The hope of the just brings joy, but the expectation of the wicked perishes. The Lord is a stronghold of those who walk honestly. Downfall for evildoers. The just will never be disturbed, but the wicked will not abide in the land. The mouth of the just yields wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut off. The lips of the just know favor, but the mouth of the wicked perversion. Proverbs chapter 11. False scales are an abomination to the Lord, but an honest weight his delight. When the pride comes, disgrace comes, but with the humble is wisdom. The honesty of the upright guides them. The faithless are ruined by their duplicity. Wealth is useless on the day of wrath, but justice saves from death. The justice of the honest make their way straight, but their wickedness the wicked fall. The justice of the upright saves them, but the faithless are caught in their own intrigue. When a person dies, hope is destroyed. Expectation pinned on wealth is destroyed. The just are rescued from a tight spot, but the wicked fall into it instead. By a word, the impious ruin their neighbors, but through their knowledge the just are rescued. When the just prosper, the city rejoices. When the wicked perish, there is jubilation. Through the blessing of the upright of the city is exalted, but through the mouth of the wicked it is overthrown. Whoever reviles a neighbor lacks sense, but the intelligent keeps silent. One who slanders reveals secrets, but a trustworthy person keeps a confidence. For lack of guidance, a people falls. security lies in many counselors. Harm will come to anyone going shortly for another, but whoever hates giving pledges is secure. A gracious woman gains esteem. A ruthless man gain wealth. Kindly people benefit themselves, but the merciless harm themselves. The wicked make empty profits, but those who sow justice have a sure reward. Justice leads towards life, but pursuit of evil toward death. The crooked in heart are an abomination to the Lord, but those who walk blamelessly are his delight. Be assured the wicked shall not go unpunished, but the offspring of the just shall escape. Like a golden ring in a swine's snout is a beautiful woman without judgment. The desire of the just ends only in good. The expectation of the wicked is wrath. One person is lavish, yet still grows richer. Another is too sparing, yet is the poorer. Whoever confers benefits will be amply enriched, and whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Whoever hoards grain, the people curse, but blessings are on the head of the one who distributes it. Those who seek the good seek favor, but those who pursue evil will have evil come upon them. Those who trust in their riches will fall, but like green leaves, the just will flourish. Those who trouble their household will inherit the wind, and fools become slaves to the wise of heart. The fruit of justice is a tree of life. The one who takes lives is a sage. If the just are recompensed on the earth, how much more the wicked and the sinner? Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates reproof is stupid. A good person wins favor from the Lord, but the schemer he condemns. No one is made secure by wickedness, but the root of the just will never be disturbed. But the root of the just will never be disturbed. A woman of worth is the crown of her husband, but a disgraceful one is like rot in his bones. The plans of the just are right, the designs of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are a deadly ambush, but the speech of the upright saves them. Overthrow the wicked, and they are no more, but the house of the just stands firm. For their good sense people are praised, but the perverse of heart are despised. Better to be slighted and have a servant than to put on heirs and lack bread. They just take care of their livestock, but the compassion of the wicked is cruel. Those who till their own land have food in plenty, but those who engage in idle pursuits lack sense. A wicked person desires the catch of evil people, but the root of the righteous will bear fruit. By the sin of their lips the wicked are ensnared, but the just escape from a tight spot. From the fruit of their mouths people have their fill of good, and the works of their hands come back upon them. The way of fools is right in their own eyes, but those who listen to advice are the wise. Fools immediately show their anger, but the shrewd conceal contempt. Whoever speaks honestly testifies truly, but the deceitful make lying witnesses. The babble of some people is like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise is healing. Truthful lips endure forever, the lying tongue for only a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who plot evil, but those who counsel peace have joy. No harm befalls the just, but the wicked are overwhelmed with misfortune. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who are truthful, his delight. The shrewd conceal knowledge, but the hearts of fools proclaim folly. The diligent hand will govern, but sloth makes for forced labor. Worry weights down the heart, but a kind word gives it joy. The just act as guides to their neighbors, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. Sloth does not catch its prey, but the wealth of the diligent is splendid. In the path of justice is life, but the way of abomination leads to death. Proverbs chapter 13. A wise son loves correction, but the scoffer heeds no rebuke. From the fruit of the mouth one enjoys good things, but from the throat of the treacherous comes violence. Those who guard their mouths preserve themselves. Those who open wide their lips bring ruin. The appetite of the sluggard craves but has nothing, but the appetite of the diligent is amply satisfied. The just hate deceitful words, but the wicked are odious and disgraceful. Justice guards one who walks honestly, but sin leads the wicked astray. One acts rich, but has nothing. Another acts poor, but has great wealth. People's riches serve as a ransom for their lives, but the poor do not even hear a threat. The light of the just gives joy, but the lamp of the wicked goes out. The stupid sow discord by their insolence, but wisdom is those who take counsel. Wealth won quickly dwindles away, but gathered little by little it grows. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a wish fulfilled is a tree of life. Whoever despises the word must pay for it, but whoever reveres the command will be rewarded. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, turning one from the snares of death. Good sense brings favor, but the way of the faithless is their ruin. The shrewd always act prudently, but the foolish parade folly. The wicked messenger brings on disaster, but a trustworthy envoy is a healing remedy. Poverty and shame befall those who let go of discipline, but those who hold on to reproof receive honor. Desire fulfilled delights the soul, but turning from evil is an abomination to fools. Walk with the wise, and you become wise, but the companion of fools fares badly. Misfortune pursues sinners, but the just shall become recompensed with good. The good leave an inheritance to their children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the just. The tillage of the poor yields abundant fruit, but possessions are swept away for lack of justice. Whoever spares the rod hates the child, but whoever loves will apply discipline. When the just eat, their hunger is appeased, but the belly of the wicked suffers want. Proverbs chapter 14. Wisdom builds her house, but folly tears her down with her own hands. Those who walk uprightly fear the Lord, but those who are devious in their ways spurn him. In the mouth of the fool is a rod for pride, but the lips of the wise perverse them. When there is no oxen, the crib is clean, but abundant crops come through the strength of the bull. A trustworthy witness does not lie, but one who spouts lies makes a lying witness. The scoffer seeks wisdom in vain, but knowledge is easy for the intelligent. Go from the face of the fool. You get no knowledge from such lips. The wisdom of the shrewd enlighten their way, but the folly of fools is deceit. The wicked scorn a guilt offering, but the upright find acceptance. The heart knows its own bitterness, and its joy no stranger shares. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. Sometimes a way seems right, but the end of it leads to death. Even in laughter, the heart may be sad, and the end of joy may be sorrow. From their own ways, turncoats are sated. From their own actions, the loyal. The naive believe everything, but the shrewd watch their steps. The wise person is cautious and turns from evil. The fool is reckless and gets embroiled. The quick-tempered make fools of themselves, and schemers are hated. The simple have folly as an adornment, but the shrewd wear knowledge as a crown. The malicious bow down before the good, malicious bow down before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the just. Even by their neighbors the poor are despised, but the rich person's friends are many. Whoever despises the hungry comes up short, but happy the one who is kind to the poor. Do not those who plan evil go astray, but those who plan good win steadfast loyalty. In all labor there is profit, but mere talk tends only to loss. The crown of the wise is wealth. The diadem of fools is folly. The truthful witness saves lives, but whoever utters lies is a betrayer. The fear of the Lord is a strong defense, a refuge even for one's children. The fear of the Lord is a foundation of life, turning one from the snares of death. The multitude of subjects is the glory of the king, but if his people are few, a prince is ruined. Long-suffering results in great wisdom. A short temper raises folly high. A tranquil mind gives life to the body, but jealous rots the bones. Those who oppress the poor revile their maker, but those who are kind to the needy honor him. The wicked are overthrown by their wickedness, but the just find a refuge in their integrity. Wisdom can remain silent in the discerning heart, but among fools she must make herself known. Justice exalts a nation, but sin is a people's disgrace. The king favors the skillful servant, but the shameless one incurs his wrath. All right, we are roughly halfway through at Proverbs chapter 15, and we are roughly at 1 hour. Now, I didn't start reading till 13 minutes, so we can maybe safely say that we'll be done by 2 hours. Let's keep at it. A mild answer turns back wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise pours out knowledge, but the mouth of fools spews folly. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse one breaks the spirit. The fool spurns a father's instruction, but whoever heeds reproof is prudent. In the house of the just there are ample resources, but the harvest of the wicked is in peril. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, but the heart of fools is not steadfast. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves one who pursues justice. Discipline seems bad to those going astray. One who hates reproof will die. Sheol and Abaddon. Let me try that one more time. Sheol and Abaddon lie open before the Lord. How much more the hearts of mortals? Scoffers do not love reproof. To the wise they will not go. A glad heart lights up the face, but an anguished heart breaks the spirit. The discerning heart seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on folly. All the days of the poor are evil, but a good heart is a continual feast. Better a little with fear of the Lord than a great fortune with anxiety. Better a dish of herbs where love is than a fattened ox and hatred with it. The ill-tempered stir up strife, but the patient settle disputes. The way of the sluggard is like a thorn hedge, but the path of the diligent is a highway. A wise son gives his father joy, but a fool despises his mother. Folly is joy to the senseless, but the person of understanding goes the straight way. Plans fail when there is no counsel, but they succeed when advisers are many. One has joy from an apt response, a word in season, how good it is. The path of life leads upward for the prudent, turning them from Sheol below. The Lord pulls down the house of the proud, but preserves intact the widow's landmark. The schemes of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but gracious words are pure. The greedy tear down their own house, but those who hate bribes will live. The heart of the just ponders a response, but the mouth of the wicked spews evil. The Lord is far from the wicked, but hears the prayers of the just. The cheerful glance brings joy to the heart. Good news invigorates the bones. The ear that listens to sultry reproof is at home among the wise. Those who disregard discipline hate themselves, but those who heed reproof acquire understanding. The fear of the Lord is training for wisdom, and humility goes before honors. Proverbs chapter 16. Plans are made in human hearts, but from the Lord comes the tongue's response. All one's ways are pure in one's own eyes, but the measurer of motives is the Lord. Entrust your works to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. The Lord has made everything for a purpose, even the wicked for the evil day. Every proud heart is an abomination to the Lord. Be assured that no one will go unpunished. By steadfast loyalty, guilt is expiated, and by the fear of the Lord, evil is avoided. When the Lord is pleased with someone's ways, he makes even enemies be at peace with them. Better a little with justice than a large income with injustice. The human heart plans the way, but the Lord directs the steps. An oracle is upon the king's lips. No judgment of his mouth is false. Balance and scales belong to the Lord. Every weight in the sack is his concern. Wrongdoing is an abomination to kings, for by justice the throne endures. The king takes delight in honest lips, and whoever speaks what is right he loves. The king's wrath is a messenger of death, but a wise person can pacify it. The king's smile means life, and his favor is like a rain cloud in spring. How much better to get wisdom than gold? To get understanding is preferable to silver. The path of the upright leads away from misfortune. Those who attend their way guard their lives. Pride goes before disaster, and a haughty spirit before a fall. It is better to be humble with the poor than to share plunder with the proud. Whoever ponders a matter will be successful. Happy the one who trusts in the Lord. The wise of heart is esteemed for discernment, and pleasing speech gains a reputation for learning. Good sense is a fountain of life to those who have it, but folly is the training of fools. The heart of the wise makes an eloquent speech, and increases the learning on their lips. Pleasing words are a honeycomb, sweet to the taste and invigorating to the bones. Sometimes a way seems right, but the end of it leads to death. The appetite of workers works for them, for their mouths urge them on. Scoundrels are a furnace of evil, and their lips are like a scourging fire. Perverse speech sows discord, and tale-bearing separates bosom friends. The violent deceive their neighbors and lead them into a way that is not good. Whoever winks an eye plans perversity. Whoever pursues the lips does evil. Gray hair is a crown of glory. It is gained by a life that is just. The patient are better than warriors, and those who rule their temper better than the conqueror of a city. Into the bag the lot is cast, but from the Lord comes every decision. Proverbs chapter 18. Better a dry crust with quiet than a house full of feast with strife. A wise servant will rule over an unworthy son, and will share the inheritance of the children. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but the tester of hearts is the Lord. The evildoer gives heed to wicked lips, the liar to a mischievous tongue. Whoever mocks the poor reviles their maker. Whoever rejoices in their misfortune, whoever, okay, let me start over. Calm down. Whoever mocks the poor reviles their maker. Whoever rejoices in their misfortune will not go unpunished. Children's children are the crown of the elderly, and the glory of children is their parentage. Fine words ill fit a fool. How much more lying lips a noble? A bribe seems a charm to its user. At every turn, it brings success. Whoever overlooks an offense fosters friendship, but whoever gossips about it separates friends. A single reprimand does more for a discerning person than 100 lashes for a fool. The wicked pursue only rebellion, and a merciless messenger is sent against them. Face a bear robbed of her cubs, but never fools in their folly. If you return evil for good, evil will not depart from your house. The start of strife is like the opening of a dam. Check a quarrel before it bursts forth. Whoever acquits the wicked, whoever condemns the just, both are abomination to the Lord. Of what use is money in the hands of fools, when they have no heart to acquire wisdom? A friend is a friend at all times, and a brother is born for the time of adversity. Those without sense give their hands in pledge, becoming surety for their neighbors. Those who love an offense love a fight. Those who build their gate high court disaster. The perverse in heart come to no good, and the double-tongued fall into trouble. Whoever conceives a fool has grief. The father of a numbskull has no joy. A joyful heart is the health of the body, but a depressed spirit dries up the bones. A guilty person takes out a bribe from the pocket, thus perverting the court of justice. The countenance of a discerning person is wisdom, but the eyes of a fool are on the ends of the earth. A foolish son is vexation to his father, and bitter sorrow to her who bore him. It is wrong to fine an innocent person, but beyond reason to scourge nobles. Those who spare their words are truly knowledgeable, and those who are discreet are intelligent. Even fools keeping silent are considered wise, if they keep their lips closed, intelligent. Proverbs chapter 18. One who is alienated seeks a pretext. With all persistence picks a quarrel. Fools take no delight in understanding, but only in displaying what they think. With wickedness comes contempt, and with disgrace scorn. The words of one's mouth are deep waters, the spring of wisdom a running brook. It is not good to favor the guilty, nor to reject the claim of the just. The lips of fools walk into a fight, and their mouths are asking for a beating. The mouths of fools are their ruin. Their lips are a deadly snare. The words of a talebearer are like dainty morsels. They sink into one's innermost being. Those slack in their work are kin to the destroyer. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The just run to it and are safe. The wealth of the rich is their strong city. They fancy it a high wall. Before disaster, the heart is haughty, but before honor is humility. Whoever answers before listening, there is folly and shame. One's spirit supports one when ill, but a broken spirit who can bear? The heart of the intelligent inquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. Gifts clear the way for people, winning access to the great. Those who plead the case seem to be in the right. Then the opponent comes and cross-examines them, and Lot puts an end to disputes and decides a controversy between the mighty. A brother offended is more unyielding than a stronghold. Such strife is more daunting than castle gates. With the fruit of one's mouth, one's belly is filled. With the produce of one's lips, one is sated. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Those who choose one shall eat its fruit. To find a wife is to find happiness, a favor granted by the Lord. The poor implore, but the rich answer harshly. There are friends who bring ruin, but there are true friends more loyal than a brother. Proverbs chapter 19. Better to be poor and walk in integrity than rich and crooked in one's ways. Desire without knowledge is not good, and whoever acts hastily blunders. Their own folly leads people astray, and in their hearts they rage against the Lord. Wealth adds many friends, but the poor are left friendless. The false witness will not go unpunished, and whoever utters lies will not escape. Many curry favor with a noble. Everybody is a friend of a gift giver. All the kin of the poor despise them. How much more do their friends shun them? Those who gain sense truly love themselves. Those who preserve understanding will find success. The false witness will not go unpunished, and whoever utters lies will perish. Luxury is not befitting a fool. Much less should a slave rule over princes. It is good sense to be slow to anger, and to honor and overlook an offense. The king's wrath is like the roar of a lion, but his favor like the dew on the grass. The foolish son is ruin to his father, and a quarrelsome wife is water constantly dripping. Home and possessions are an inheritance from parents, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Laziness brings on deep sleep, and the sluggard goes hungry. Those who keep commands keep their lives, but those who despise these ways will die. Whoever cares for the poor lends to the Lord, who will pay back the sum in full. Discipline your son, for there is hope, but do not intend on his death. A wrathful person bears the penalty. After one rescue, you will have it to do again. Listen to the counsel and receive instruction, that you may eventually become wise. Many are the plans of the human heart, but it is the decision of the Lord that endures. What is desired of a person is fidelity. Rather be poor than a liar. The fear of the Lord leads to life. One eats and sleeps free from any harm. The sluggard buries a hand in the dish, not even lifting it to the mouth. Beat a scoffer, and the naive learn a lesson. Rebuke the intelligent, and they gain knowledge. Whoever mistreats a father or drives away a mother is a shameless and disgraceful child. My son, stop attending to correction. Start straying from words of knowledge. An unprincipled witness scoffs at justice, and the mouth of the wicked pours out iniquity. Rods are prepared for scoffers, and blows for the backs of fools. Proverbs chapter 20. Wine is arrogant, strong drink is riotous. None who are intoxicated by them are wise. The terror of a king is like the roar of a lion. Those who incur his anger forfeit their lives. A person gains honor by avoiding strife, while every fool starts a quarrel. In seed time, sluggards do not plow. When they look for the harvest, it's not there. The intention of the human heart is deep water, but the intelligent draw it forth. Many say, my loyal friend, but who can find someone worthy of trust? The just walk in integrity. Happy are their children after them. The king seated on the throne of judgment dispels all evil with his glance. Who can say, I have made my heart clean? I am cleansed of my sin. Varying weights, varying measures are both an abomination to the Lord. In their actions, even children can play act. Through their deeds, be blameless and right. The ear that hears, the eye that sees, the Lord has made them both. Do not love to sleep, lest you be reduced to poverty. Keep your eyes open. Have your fill of food. Bad, bad, says the buyer, then goes away only to boast. One can put on gold and abundant jewels, but wise lips are the most precious ornament. Take the garment of the one who became surety for a stranger. If for foreigners, exact the pledge. Bread earned by deceit is sweet, but afterward the mouth is filled with gravel. Plans made with advice succeed. With wise discretion wage your war. A slanderer reveals secrets, so have nothing to do with a babbler. Those who curse father or mother will go out in the dead of night. Possessions greedily guard at the outset will not be blessed in the end. Do not say, I will repay evil. Wait for the Lord who will help you. Varying weights are an abomination to the Lord, and false scales are not good. Our steps are from the Lord. How then can mortals understand their way? It is a trap to pledge rashly a sacred gift. And after a vow, then to reflect. A wise king winnows the wicked and threshes them under the cartwheel. A lamp from the Lord is human life breath. It searches through the innermost being. His steadfast loyalty safeguards the king, and he upholds his throne by justice. The glory of the young is their strength, and the dignity of the old is their gray hair. Evil is cleansed away by bloody lashes and scourging to the inmost being. Proverbs chapter 21. A king's heart is channeled water in the hand of the Lord. God directs it where he pleases. All your ways may be straight in your own eyes, but it is the Lord who weighs hearts. To do what is right and just, it is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. Haughty eyes and a proud heart. The lamp of the wicked will fail. The plans of the diligent end in profit, but those of the hasty end in loss. Trying to get rich by lying is chasing a bubble over deadly snares. The violence of the wicked will sweep them away because they refuse to do what is right. One's path may be winding and unfamiliar, but one's conduct is blameless and right. It is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than in a mansion with quarrelsome woman. The soul of the wicked desires evil. Their neighbor finds no pity in their eyes. When scoffers are punished, the naive become wise. When the wise succeed, they gain knowledge. The righteous one appraises the house of the wicked, bringing down the wicked to ruin. Those who shut their ears to the cry of the poor will themselves call out and not be answered. A secret gift allays anger, and a present concealed violent wrath. When justice is done, it is a joy for the just, downfall for evildoers. Whoever strays from the way of good sense will abide in the assembly of the shades. The lover of pleasure will suffer want. The lover of wine and perfume will never be rich. The wicked serve as ransom for the just, and the faithless for the upright. It is better to dwell in wilderness than with a quarrelsome wife in trouble. Precious treasure and oil are in the house of the wise, but the fool consumes them. Whoever pursues justice and kindness will find life and honor. The wise person storms the city of the mighty and overthrows the strong in which they trust. Those who guard mouth and tongue guard themselves from trouble. Proud, boastful, scoffer in the name. Those who act with overbearing pride, the desire of sluggards will slay them, for their hands refuse to work. Some are consumed with avarice all the day, but the just give unsparingly. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination, the more so when they offer it with bad intent. The false witness will perish, but one who listens will give lasting testimony. The face of the wicked hardens, but the upright mountains a straight course. No wisdom, no understanding, no counsel prevail against the Lord. The horse is equipped for the day of battle, but the victory is the Lord's. The good name is more desirable than great riches, and high esteem than gold and silver. Rich and poor have a common bond. The Lord is the maker of them all. The astute see an evil and hide, while the naive continue on and pay the penalty. The result of humility and fear of the Lord is riches, honor, and life. Thorns and snares are on the path of the crooked. Those who would safeguard their lives will avoid them. Train the young in the way they should go. Even when old, they will not swerve from it. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is the slave of the lender. Those who sow iniquity reap calamity, and the rod used in anger will fail. The generous will be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. Expel the arrogant, and discord goes too. Strife and insult increase. The Lord loves the pure heart. The person of winning speech has a king for a friend. The eyes of the Lord watch over the knowledgeable, but he defeats the projects of the faithless. The sluggard says, "A lion is outside. I might be slain in the street." The mouth of the foreign woman is a deep pit. Whoever incurs the Lord's anger will fall into it. Folly is bound to the heart of a youth, but the rod of discipline will drive it out. Oppressing the poor for enrichment, giving to the rich, both are sheer loss. The word of the wise, incline your ear, hear my words, and let your mind attend to my teaching. For it will be well if you hold them within you, if they are already on your lips. That they trust may be in the Lord. I make them known to you today. Yes, to you. I have not written for you 30 sayings containing counsels and knowledge to teach you truly how to give a dependable report to one who sends you. Do not rob the poor because they are poor, nor crush the needy at the gate, for the Lord will defend their cause and will plunder those who plunder them. Do not be friendly with hot heads, nor associate with the wrathful, lest you learn their ways and become ensnared. Do not become one of those who give their hand in pledge, those who become surety for debts. For if you are unable to pay, your bed will be taken from under you. Do not remove the ancient landmark that your ancestors set up. Do you see those skilled at their work? They will stand in the presence of kings, but not in the presence of the obscure. Chapter 23, Proverbs chapter 23. When you sit down to dine with a ruler, mark well the one who is before you. Stick the knife in your gullet if you have a ravenous appetite. Do not desire his delicacies. It is food that deceives. Do not wear yourself out to gain wealth. Cease to be worried about it. When your glance flints to it, it is gone. For assuredly it grows wings, like the eagle that flies towards heaven. Do not take food with unwilling hosts, and do not desire their delicacies. For like something stuck in the throat is that food. Eat and drink, they say to you, but their hearts are not with you. The little you have eaten, you will vomit up, and you will have wasted your agreeable words. Do not speak in the hearing of fools. They will despise the wisdom of your words. Do not remove the ancient landmark or invade the fields of the fatherless. For their Redeemer is strong. He will defend their cause against you. Apply your heart to instruction and your ear to words of knowledge. Do not withhold discipline from youths. If you beat them with a rod, they will not die. Beat them with the rod, and you will save them from Sheol. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will also rejoice. And my innermost being will exult when your lips speak what is right. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but only those who always fear the Lord. For you will surely have a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Hear, my son, and be wise, and guide your heart in the right way. Do not join the wine bribers, nor those who glut themselves on meat. For drunkards and gluttons come to poverty, and lazing about clothes one in rags. Listen to your father who begot you. Do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth and do not sell. Wisdom, instruction, understanding. The father of a just person will exult greatly. Whoever begets a wise son will rejoice in him. Let your father and mother rejoice. Let who bore you exalt you. My son, give me your heart, and let your eyes keep to my ways. For the harlot is a deep pit, and a foreign woman a narrow well. Yes, she lies in wait like a robber, and increases the number of the faithless. Who scream, who shout, who have strife, who have anxiety, who have wounds for nothing, who have bleary eyes, whoever linger long over wine, whoever go around quaffing wine. Do not look on the wine when it is red. When it sparkles in the cup, it go down smoothly, but in the end it bites like a serpent and stings like an adder. Your eyes behold strange sights, and your heart utters incoherent things. You are like one sleeping on the high seas, sprawled at the top of the mast. They struck me, but it did not pain me. They beat me, but I did not feel it. When can I get up? When can I go out and get more? Proverbs chapter 24. Do not be envy of the wicked, nor desire to be with them, for their hearts plot violence, and their lips speak of foul play. By wisdom a house is built, by understanding it is established, and by knowledge its rooms are filled. With every precious and pleasing possession, the wise are more powerful than the strong, and the learned are the mighty. For by strategy war is waged, and victory depends on many counselors. Wise words are beyond fools' reach. In the assembly they do not open their mouth. As they calculate how to do evil, people brand them troublemakers. The scheme of a fool gains no acceptance. The scoffer is an abomination to the community. Did you fail in a day of adversity? Did your strength fall short? Did you fail to rescue those who are being dragged off to death? Those tottering, those near death? Because you said, we didn't know about it. Surely the Surely the seer of hearts knows and will repay all according to their deeds. If you eat honey, my son, because it is good, if pure honey is sweet to your taste, such you must know is wisdom to your soul. If you find it, you will have a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Do not lie in wait at the abode of the just. Do not ravage their dwelling places. Though Though the just fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble from only one mishap. Do not rejoice when your enemies fall, and when they stumble, do not let your heart exult, lest you see it be displeased with you, and withdraw his wrath from your enemies. Do not be provoked as evildoers, do not envy the wicked, for the evil have no future. The lamp of the wicked will be put out. My son, fear the Lord and the king. Have nothing to do with those who hate them, for disaster will issue suddenly, and calamity from them both. But who knows when? These are the words of the wise. To show partiality in judgment is not good. Whoever says to the guilty, "You are innocent," will be cursed by nations, scorned by peoples. But those who render just verdicts will fare well, and on them will come the blessing of prosperity. An honest reply, a kiss on the lips, complete with outdoor tasks, and arrange your work in the field. Afterward, you can build your house. Do not testify falsely against your neighbor, and so deceive with your lips. Do not say, "As they did to me, so I will do to them. I will repay them according to their deeds." I passed by the field of a sluggard, by the vineyard of one with no sense. It was all overgrown with thistles. Its surface was covered with nettles, and its stone wall broken down. As I gazed at it, I reflected. I saw learned a lesson. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the arms to rest. Then poverty will come upon you like a robber. I want like a brigand. I want like a brigand. I feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong. I've got to know. Brigand. A member of a game that ambushes and robs people in forests and mountains. Oh, so like Robin Hood. Brigand. There we go. One more time. Brigand. Proverbs chapter 25. These are also proverbs of Solomon. The servants of Hezekiah, king of Judah, transmitted them. It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the glory of kings to fathom a matter. Like the heavens in height, the earth in depth. The heart of kings is unfathomable. Remove the dross from silver, and it comes forth perfectly purified. Remove the wicked from the presence of the king, and his throne is made firm through justice. Claim no honor in the king's presence, nor occupy the place of superiors, for it is better to be told, "Come up closer," than to be humbled before the prince. What your eyes have seen, do not bring forth too quickly against an opponent. For what will you do later on when the neighbor puts you to shame? Argue your own case with your neighbor, but the secrets of others do not disclose, lest hearing it they reproach you, and your ill repute never ceases. Golden apples in silver settings are words spoken at the proper time. A golden earring or a necklace of fine gold, one who gives wise reproof to a listening ear. Like the coolness of snow in the heat of the harvest, are faithful messengers for those who send them, lifting the spirits of their masters. Clouds and wind, but no rain. The one who boasts of a gift not given, By patience is a ruler persuaded, and a soft tongue can break a bone. If you find honey, eat only what you need, lest you have your fill and vomit it up. Let your foot be seldom in your neighbor's house, lest they have their fill of you and hate you. A clubbed sword or sharp arrow, the one who bears false witness against a neighbor, a bad tooth or an unsteady foot, a trust betrayed in time of trouble, like the removal of clothes on a cold day or vinegar on soda, is the one who sings to a troubled heart. If your enemies are hungry, give them food to eat. If thirsty, give them something to drink. For live coals you will heap on their heads. The Lord will vindicate you. The north wind brings rain, and backbiting tongue looks angry looks. It is better to dwell in a corner of the house. It is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than in a mansion with a quarrelsome wife. Cool water to one faint from thirst. It is good news from a far country, a trampled fountain or a polluted spring, a just person fallen before the wicked. To eat too much honey is not good, nor to seek honor after honor. A city breached and left defenseless are those who do not control their temper. Proverbs chapter 26. Like snow in summer, like rain in harvest, honor for a fool who is out of place. Like the sparrow in its flitting, like the shallow messed it up. Okay, here we go. Like snow in summer, like rain in harvest, honor for fool is out of place. Like the sparrow in its flitting, like the swallow in its flight. A curse uncalled for never lands. The whip for the horse, the bridle for the ass, the rod for the back of fools. Do not answer fools according to their folly, lest you too become like them. I was trying to open up. I'll finish this chapter first. Answer fools according to their folly, lest they become wise in their own eyes. Those who send messages by a fool cut off their feet. They drink down violence. A proverb in the mouth of a fool hangs limp, like crippled legs, giving honor to a fool. It is like entangling a stone in the sling. A thorn struck in the hand of a drunkard is a proverb in the mouth of fools. An archer wounding all who pass by is anyone who hires a drunken fool. As dogs return to their vomit, so fools repeat their folly. You see those who are wise in their own eyes? There is more hope for fools than for them. The sluggard says, there is a lion in the street, a lion in the middle of the square. The door turns on its hinges, the sluggards on their beds. The sluggard buries a hand in the dish, too weary to lift it to the mouth. In their own eyes, sluggards are wiser than 7 who answer with good judgment. Whoever meddles in the quarrel of another is one who grabs a passing dog by the ears, like a crazed archer scattering firebrands and deadly arrows. Well, there it is. Such are those who deceive their neighbor and then say, I was only joking. Without wood, the fire dies out. Without a talebearer, strife sides, charcoal for coals, wood for fire. Such are the quarrelsome in kindling strife. The words of a talebearer are like dainty morsels. They sink into one's inmost being, like a glazed finish on earthenware. Are smooth lips and a wicked heart. With their lips enemies pretend, but inwardly they maintain deceit. When they speak graciously, do not trust them, for 7 abominations are in their hearts. Hatred can be concealed by pretense, but malice will be revealed in the assembly. Whoever digs a pit falls into it, and the stone comes back upon the one who rolls it. The lying tongue is its own enemy. The lying tongue is its own enemy. Why did I say that twice? The lying tongue is its owner's enemy, and the flattering mouth works ruin. Yeah, I went to bring up the stream on my phone because I didn't have any comments, so I just wanted to see if there was anything different from the actual stream to what is this, StreamYard? And there is. Like, somebody left a comment and it didn't come on for some reason. Interestingly enough, no, my comment is there. Anyways, let's continue. Proverbs chapter 27. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what any day may bring forth. Let another praise you, not your own mouth, a stranger, not your own lips. Stone is heavy and sand a burden. But a fool's provocation is heavier than both. Anger is cruel and wrath overwhelming. But before jealousy, who can stand? Better is a open rebuke than a love that remains hidden. Trustworthy are the blows of a friend, dangerous the kisses of an enemy. One who is full spurns honey, but to the hungry any bitter thing is sweet. Like a bird far from the nest, so is anyone far from home. Perfume and incense bring joy to the heart, but by grief the soul is torn asunder. Do not give up your own friend and your father's friend. Do not resort to the house of your kindred when trouble strikes. Better a neighbor near than kin far away. Be wise, my son, and bring joy to my heart, so that I can answer whoever taunts me. The astute see an evil and hide. The naive continue on and pay the penalty. Take the garment of the one who became surety for a stranger. If for a foreign woman, exact the pledge. Those who greet their neighbor with a loud voice in the early morning, a curse can be laid to their charge. For a persistent leak on a rainy day, the match of a quarrelsome wife. Whoever would hire her hides a storm wind and cannot tell north from south. Iron is sharpened by iron. One person sharpens another. Those who tend a fig tree eat its fruit. Those who are attentive to their master will be honored. As face mirrors face in water, so the heart reflects the person. Sheol and Abaddon can never be satisfied, so their eyes of mortals can never be satisfied. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold. So you must assay the praise you receive. Though you pound fools with a pestle, their folly never leaves them. Take good care of your flocks. Give careful attention to your herds. For wealth does not last forever, nor even a crown from age to age. When the grass comes up and the new growth appears, the mountain greens are gathered in. The lambs will provide you with clothing, the goats, the price of a field, and there will be ample goat's milk for your food, for your house, sustenance for your maidens. All right, next chapter. We're getting close. Chapter 28. We're almost to 2 hours. It's going to be close. Proverbs chapter 28. The wicked flee through non-pursue, but the just, like a lion, are confident. If a land is rebellious, its princes will be many. But with an intelligent and wise ruler, there is stability. One who is poor and exhorts from the lowly is a devastating rain that leaves no food. Those who abandon instruction praise the wicked, but those who keep instruction oppose them. The evil understand nothing of justice, but those who seek the Lord understand everything. Better to be poor and walk in integrity than rich and crooked in one's ways. Whoever heeds instruction is a wise son, but whoever joins the wastrels disgraces his fathers. Whoever amasses wealth by interest and overcharge gathers it for the one who is kind to the poor. Those who turn their ears from hearing instruction, even their prayer is an abomination. Excuse me. Those who mislead the upright into an evil way will themselves fall into their own pit, but the blameless will attain prosperity. The rich are wise in their own eyes, but the poor who are intelligent see through them. With the just triumph, there is great glory. But when the wicked prevail, people hide. Those who conceal their sins do not prosper, but those who confess and forsake their... Oh, I lost where I was. Those who conceal their sins do not prosper, but those who confess and forsake them obtain mercy. Happy those who always fear, but those who harden their hearts fall into evil. A roaring lion or a ravenous bear is a wicked ruler over a poor people. The less prudent the rulers, the more oppressive their deeds. Those who hate ill-gotten gain prolong their days. Though a person burdened with blood guilt is in flight even to the grave, let no one offer support. Whoever walks blamelessly is safe, but one whose ways are crooked falls into a pit. Those who cultivate their land will have plenty of food, but those who engage in idle pursuits will have plenty of want. The trustworthy will be richly blessed, but whoever hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. To show partiality, it is never good, for even a morsel of bread one may do wrong. Misers hurry towards wealth, not knowing that want is coming toward them. Whoever rebukes another wins more favor than one who flatters with the tongue. Whoever defrauds father or mother and says, "It is no sin," is a partner to a... I already forgot how to say it. Whoever defrauds father or mother and says, "It is no sin," is a partner to a brigade. I feel like I said it wrong. Brigand. Okay, brigand. I am terrible with pronunciations, especially even after I've said it multiple times. So I took German in college, and I would have to literally say the words 1,000 times, and then 1,000 times to actually memorize them. So brigand, here we go. Whoever defrauds father or mother and says, "It is no sin," it is a partner to a brigand. The greedy person stirs up strife. But the one who trusts in the Lord will prosper. Those who trust in themselves are fools, but those who walk in wisdom are safe. Those who give to the poor have no lack, but those who avert their eyes many curses. When the wicked prevail, people hide, but at their fall the just abound. Proverbs chapter 29. Though stiff-necked in the face of reproof, in an instant will be shattered beyond cure. When the just flourish, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rule, the people groan. Whoever loves wisdom gives joy to his father, but whoever consorts with harlots squanders his wealth. By justice a king builds up the land, but one who raises taxes tears it down. Those who speak flattery to their neighbor cast a net at their feet. The sin of the wicked is a trap, but the just run along joyfully. The just care for the cause of the poor. The wicked do not understand such care. Scoffers inflame the city, but the wise calm the fury. If a wise person disputes with a fool, there is railing and ridicule, but no resolution. The bloodthirsty hate the blameless, but the upright seek his life. Fools give vent to all their anger, but the wise, binding their time, control it. If rulers listen to lying words, their servants all become wicked. The poor and the oppressor meet. The Lord gives light to the eyes of both. If a king is honestly for the rights of the poor, his throne stands firm forever. The rod of correction gives wisdom, but uncontrollable youths grace their mothers. When the wicked increase, crime increases, but the just will behold their downfall. Discipline your children, and they will bring you comfort and delight to your soul. With a vision, the people lose restraint, but happy is the one who follows instruction. Not by words alone can servants be trained, for they understand but do not respond. Do you see someone hasty in speech? There is more hope for a fool. If servants are pampered from childhood, they will turn out to be stubborn. The ill-tempered stir from strife, and the hot-headed cause many sins. Haughtiness brings humiliation, but the humble of spirit acquire honor. Partners of a thief hate themselves. They hear the imprecation. What? Imprecation. Imprecation, a spoken curse. I'm telling you. Imprecation. Partners of a thief hate themselves. They hate the imprecation, but do not testify. Imprecation. Fear of others becomes a snare, but the one who trusts in the Lord is safe. Many curry favor with a ruler, but it is from the Lord that one receives justice. An abomination to the just, the evildoer, an abomination to the wicked, one whose way is straight. Proverbs chapter 30. The words of Agar, son of Akeh, the Masonite. The pronouncement of mortal man. I am weary, O God. I am weary, O God, am I exalted. I am more brute than human being, without even human intelligence. Neither have I learned wisdom, nor have I the knowledge of the Holy One. Who has gone up to heaven and come down again? Who has cupped the wind in the hollow of the hand? Who has bound up the waters in a cloak? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is the person's name, or the name of his son? Every word of God is tested. He is a shield to those who take refuge in him. Add nothing to his words, lest he reprimand you, and you all proved a liar. 2 things I ask of you. Do not deny them to me before I die. Put falsehood and lying far from me. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Provide me only with the food I need, lest being full I deny you, saying, Who is the Lord? Or being in want I steal and profane the name of my God. Do not criticize servants to their master, lest they curse you, and you have to pay the penalty. There are some who curse their fathers, and do not bless their mothers. There are some pure in their own eyes, yet not cleanse of their filth. There are some. Wait a second. There are some how haughty their eyes, how overbearing their glance. There are some, their teeth are swords, their teeth are knives, devouring the needy from the earth, and the poor from the human race. The leech has 2 daughters, give and give. 3 things never get their fill. 4 never say enough. Sheol, a barren womb. Land that never gets its fill of water, and fire which never says enough. The eye that mocks a father, or scorns the homage due a mother, will be plucked out by brook ravens, devoured by brood of vultures. 3 things are too wonderful for me. Yes, 4 I cannot understand. The way of an eagle in the sky, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship on the high seas, and the way of a man with a woman. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats, wipes her mouth, and says, I have done no wrong. Under 3 things the earth trembles. Yes, under 4 it cannot bear up. Under a slave who becomes king, and a fool who is glutted with food, under an unloved woman who is wed, and a maidservant who displaces her mistress. 4 things are among the smallest on the earth, and yet are exceedingly wise. Ants, a species not strong, yet they store up their food in the summer. Badgers, a species not mighty, yet they make their home in the crags. Locusts, they have no king, yet they march forth in formation. Lizards, you can catch them with your hands, yet they find their way into kings' palaces. 3 things are stately in their stride. Yes, 4 are stately in their carriage. The lion, mighty a beast, retreats before nothing. The strutting cock and the he-goat, and the king at the head of his people. If you have foolishly been proud or presumptuous, put your hand on your mouth. For as the churning of milk produces curds, and the pressing of the nose produces blood, the churning of anger produces strife. All right, what do we got left? One more, the final countdown. Proverbs chapter 31. We are at roughly an hour or 2 hours and 8 minutes, which means I will finish this in basically 2 hours because we started at 12 minutes. Proverbs chapter 31. The words of Lemuel, king of Massa, the instruction his mother taught him. What are you doing, my son? What are you doing, son of my womb? What are you doing, son of my bowels? Do not give your vigor to women, or your strength to those who ruin kings. It is not for kings, Lemuel, not for kings to drink wine. Strong drink is not for princes. lest in drinking they forget what has been decreed, and violate the rights of any who are in need. Give strong drink to anyone who is perishing, and wine to the embittered. When they drink, they will forget their misery, and think no more of their troubles. Open your mouth in behalf of the mute, and for the rights of the destitute. Open your mouth, judge justly, defend the needy and the poor. Who can find a woman of worth? Far beyond jewels is her value. Her husband trusts her judgment. He does not lack income. He brings him profit, not loss. All the days of her life, she seeks out wool and flax and leaves with skillful hands. Like a merchant fleet, she secures her provisions from afar. She rises while it is still night and distributes food to her household, a portion to her maidservants. She picks out a field and acquires it. From her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and exerts her arms with vigor. She enjoys the profit from her dealings. Her lamp is never extinguished at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her fingers ply the spittle. She reaches out her hands to the poor and extends her arms to the needy. She is not concerned for her household when it snows. All her charges are doubly clothed. She makes her own coverlets. Fine linen and purple are her clothing. Her husband is prominent at the city gates as he sits with the elders of the land. She makes garments and sells them, and stocks the merchants with belts. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and laughs at the days to come. She opens her mouth in wisdom. Kindly instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of the household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband, too, praises her. Many of the women are proven worth, but you have excelled them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty fleeting. The woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Acclaim her for the work of her hands, and let her deeds praise her at the city gates. All right, there we go. That's it. That's the final chapter. We finished Proverbs. 2 hours. Nice job. Thank you for coming and watching. If you want to, what was I trying to say? Okay, if you want to request a book in the Bible, let me know. And it could be a group of like the New Testament letters, because if we're going to do one of those, some of them take like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, things like that. We could bunch them up together, like 2 or 3, 4, and bust them out. Or maybe you want to read Maccabees, or, I figure as soon as we finish the whole Bible, I'll read Enoch, even though it's not part of the canon, because, I think because I watched one YouTube video on it, now I get all these videos directed at me about it, and I've probably watched 3 or 4 of them, and so I'm quite interested to read the actual book. Okay, so why can't I find the thing I'm looking for? What is going on? I think it's because, okay, let me get rid of this real quick. So, yeah, I have been reading for like 2 hours, so that's very draining. But also realize during my trip for 2 weeks, I detoxed from caffeine. And then yesterday, I had my pre-workout, which is a lot of caffeine, like 250 milligrams, maybe it's 300. And then I drank half of an energy drink. Well, I drank the energy drink at like afternoon sometime. So when I went to lay down at like 11 o'clock, I was just wide-eyed. And that was, bad. Now, you might say, but you got up at 6 o'clock and still did the rosary. Yeah, I stayed up till like 1 o'clock, trying to go to sleep. And then I just woke up like at like 6:30 or something like that, ready to go. I was like, well, I'm already up. Might as well go and pray. Sounds good, right? So I did that, went and worked out. Garbage workout. But it's my first workout back doing legs. I didn't work out the whole time I was gone. So I was going to go lighter anyways. And being tired, that already forces you to because you don't got the energy. Whatever. It'll be all right. By Friday, I'll be pushing it hard. Hopefully, I can get a good night's sleep. That means I'll probably still be half a speed slow or a quarter speed slow tomorrow, because especially when you get old, if you don't get your sleep, it takes a couple days, 2 or 3, to get caught back up. And so that's just something to realize. I don't even remember what I was talking about, though. We're going to do an ending prayer and call it a day. Prayer for reading scripture, sure. I like to do the same one I always do, but I don't see it. Maybe I should write Catholic. I don't see it. We'll just use this one, the Blessed Catholic Mom. Thank you very much. Prayer before reading the Bible. What about after reading the Bible? I forgot to do the prayer before reading the Bible. I realized it when I got to like chapter 5, and I'm like, well, it's kind of too late now. We'll do it afterwards. I mean, I could just free flow it. Let's just do it. Name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord our God, we thank you for this time to read the Proverbs. Help us understand, use the Holy Spirit, and guide us into the understanding of the sacred scripture so we can do your will. We can follow your path for us, and we can glorify you in every action that we do. We ask this through the mighty name of our Lord, Jesus Christ. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, guys. I'm going to head out of here. I got to use the restroom, and I hope you all have a blessed day.